Because the Fever is not Caitlin Clark's team. Jeez, it's Kelsey Mitchell's team. To the extent where I'm not joking. I think if they let her go, they're fucked. They're fucked. Like, if they let Kelsey Mitchell go, they're screwed next year. Because I think if you have Kelsey, like, if you replaced Kelsey Mitchell with Raven Johnson, the starting lineup, it has the exact same positive effect as if you replaced Caitlin Clark with Ty Harris. Like, it's one or the other. The two of them are going, your turn, my turn. And that's never going to work. This reminds me of, like, 2008 Allen Iverson. So, what would you guys say? What's everyone's thought of Nuggets Allen Iverson? Everyone, when it comes to Nuggets Allen Iverson, is like, oh, that was, post-prime Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was washed and all this stuff. What if I told you that Allen Iverson, in his last season for the Denver Nuggets, averaged 26.4 points per game on the highest field goal percentage of his career? He averaged the most efficient scoring of his career and averaged 26.5 points per game. The problem was, Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony did not work because they went your turn, my turn. They were better without Carmelo Anthony on the floor and without Allen Iverson on the floor. By trading Iverson for Chauncey Billups, who was just a better point guard. This is post-prime Chauncey Billups. This isn't even peak Chauncey Billups. This is post-prime Chauncey Billups. This is in his 30s Chauncey Billups. They were significantly better. They made the Western Conference Finals. And at that stage, Chauncey Billups was a role player point guard. You replaced a semi-efficient 26.5% score, or 26.5 points per game score, and you got better. Because Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony were going your turn, my turn. It was a case where there was no team ball. Everyone was out of rhythm. They're going your turn, my turn. In 2024, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark, there was a clear hierarchy of touches on that team. It was, if you watch, I mean this, watch the first two games post-Olympic break and watch Kelsey Mitchell. Whenever Kelsey Mitchell got the ball and she wasn't one dribble from the basket or wide open for a shot, Kelsey Mitchell recycled the ball, dribbled it back out, gave it back to Caitlin, and Caitlin would run something else. Because 80% of the time, Caitlin's getting the ball to Kelsey. Caitlin's getting the ball to Aaliyah. And a lot of the time, it was Caitlin off the double, gets it to Aaliyah, Kelsey Mitchell cuts. Kelsey Mitchell spots up. Kelsey Mitchell comes off the handoff. She's getting her shots within the flow of an offense. She's getting her shots within the flow of the offense. And Caitlin Clark was initiating the offense. So Caitlin Clark was an offensive initiator. Aaliyah Boston was a screener. She didn't score many points. I think people forget that Aaliyah Boston did not score many points in that spell where the Fever was killing everything, because Aaliyah Boston was she was a link player. She was kind of a hub. It didn't look like that on the score sheet, but they were kind of playing through Aaliyah Boston a lot. It was like Caitlin, Aaliyah, Kelsey Mitchell as our play finisher. Kelsey Mitchell was the main play finisher. Caitlin got a lot of her shots in transition and on reversals, and she got a lot of open shots because of it. And it worked out perfectly. Now we're at the stage where, if you guys are watching the Indiana Fever and their offense right now, the Indiana Fever offense is, when it's working at its best, it is, we are moving the ball side to side until Kelsey Mitchell touches it. And once Kelsey Mitchell touches the ball, Kelsey Mitchell is going to the basket. And that means either Kelsey Mitchell is drawing 5 players and putting it up, Kelsey Mitchell is chucking a 3 off 7 dribbles, or Kelsey Mitchell is passing the ball to the side, and a lot of the times the defense collapses on driving kicks, and Kelsey Mitchell either gets her assist or hockey assists. And that works. It worked in the playoffs, it works now. The problem is that Caitlin Clark is a rhythm player. Caitlin Clark needs touches. She needs to be making, Caitlin Clark makes difficult passes, and she'll go and make make 3, 4, 5 of them in a row, but like she might need 1 to 2 turnovers to kind of get used to it. It was the same, I think it was the tempo game. I can't remember what it was, where Caitlin threw 3 turnovers in the first maybe 6 possessions of the game, and they were all like slightly off. Everything just felt slightly off, but they were trying to get in the rhythm, and she ended up with 10 assists and didn't turn the ball over the rest of the game because she stayed aggressive with her passing. So Caitlin's trying to force. The problem is Caitlin knows if the ball touches Kelsey Mitchell's hand, it's boom, 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 I'm going. So it's like, so Caitlin's now realizing like, okay, I've got to force this rhythm. So I gotta run something that is, the offense is me getting an assist pass, me being able to make a pass, me being able to get a shot is not coming from the offense. So I'm going to force something. If I run this offense, I got to go ISO. I don't want to go ISO. Let me just force a pick and roll to start the offense. And suddenly Caitlin Clark is chucking shots. Before, like, Caitlin Clark's dribbling the ball up the floor and chucking a shot before anyone else has touched the ball, which is bad on Caitlin, but she's trying to get into her rhythm, get into her game, and trying to force it. But now you've got Kelsey Mitchell then, who, if you guys watch, when Caitlin Clark's on the floor, Kelsey Mitchell doesn't touch the ball anymore. Kelsey hardly touches the ball when Caitlin Clark's on the floor. Like, that is an actual thing. Especially, like, if you're looking, Caitlin Clark is looking off Kelsey Mitchell. You should never look off Kelsey Mitchell. But the reason why she's looking off Kelsey Mitchell early in the offense is she knows she's never touching the ball again if she does it. And she's trying to force rhythm, and she knows if she passes the ball to Kelsey Mitchell and watch Kelsey Mitchell go dribble, shoot, she's never going to get into her own rhythm. And if she can no longer help the team. It is a case where both of these, you can quote box scores, you can show ESPN stats, and you can be like, look at what these two players are putting up. Yeah, this is Iverson and Carmelo. They're going your turn, my turn. And both of them, by the way, Caitlin Clark is way better at basketball. Way better at basketball than she was as a rookie or even last year. She was crippled last year, but she's way better at basketball. Kelsey Mitchell is way better at basketball than she was 2 years ago. They're both so much better. And the problem is now is that Kelsey Mitchell is she's in a contract year. 2024 Kelsey Mitchell is not getting a max contract. You are not getting a max contract in this league to be a second option guard, especially not after the first year of the CBA. Kelsey Mitchell wants a max contract from Indiana Fever or somewhere else. So she's not going back to, I'm taking a backseat to Caitlin and Aaliyah. She's out for hers. And also, she has a season where, oh shit, this system, we nearly made the finals. Why would I change? Why is it on me to change? And with Caitlin Clark, look, I think Kelsey Mitchell can be that off-ball player. I think Kelsey Mitchell could be that off-ball player and be that 2024 player and average similar points per game, do it with equal efficiency and not get in the way of Caitlin Clark. Like, I think she can absolutely go and play a style of basketball that doesn't get in the way of Caitlin Clark. But I don't blame her for thinking, why would I do that? It's on Caitlin to adjust. And the problem is that for Kelsey, it's adjusting to something she does well. For Caitlin, it's not an adjustment. Everyone's like, Caitlin needs to adapt. The problem is it's not adapting. Michael Jordan adapted his game for the triangle offense. What Stephanie White and Kelsey Mitchell would rather Caitlin Clark do is become Ty Harris. Is completely change her game. Is like 180 your game. Like, it's a big difference between adapting and 180ing your game. You can't become you cannot become a new player. You can adapt. Adapting and becoming a new player are two very different things. And the problem is that if Caitlin just had to adapt, I would say, okay, yeah, it's on Caitlin. The problem is that Caitlin pretty much has to be a new player, has to become a brand new player to fit into what they're trying to do right now. And I don't think a player at 25 years old is capable of being a star is capable of being a new player. Especially quickly. They're not saying Taurasi and Cavi Bondexter won 2 championships in 4 years playing your turn, my turn. Yeah, it's 2026. You're not winning playing your turn, my turn. It's 2026. You're just not. You're just not. Teams are too advanced. Teams are too smart. Teams are going to realize that and let you go your turn, my turn, and punish you on the other end. You're just not doing that. And the thing is that, look, Stephanie White has a clear vision of how she wants the team to play. And I hate saying it. I really, really hate saying it. Saying Stephanie White gave Caitlin the keys last year, and I think you can argue she did, to an extent. The problem is that Kelsey Mitchell, when Caitlin Clark got hurt, it was Kelsey's team. It was Kelsey's team. And from the moment Caitlin Clark got hurt for the year till the end of the year, they nearly won the championship. Or nearly got to the finals. They nearly got to the finals. So, look, I get it. If Caitlin Clark wasn't such a big name and this was purely basketball reasons, like, teams have done this before. Teams have done this where they have a certain style of play, they have a certain way of playing, and their star goes out. And that style of play is successful. And then they bring their star back. And their star tries to play the way they used to. And then it just doesn't work out. And in every single one of those situations, that star that gets brought in is let go. And the problem is, and look, I mean this. This would have happened the opposite way, by the way. If Kelsey Mitchell got hurt last year, touch wood, she never gets hurt. But if she was hurt and what you call it, if she was hurt and Caitlin Clark was given full reign and she was healthy, the team probably does the same thing. The team, Caitlin Clark, a team fully on her back, probably carries that team past the Atlanta Dream. Because again, Caitlin Clark has only lost once in her career to the Dream before that. Probably leads them past the Dream, probably leads them competitive with the Aces. And we're having a conversation of whether or not Kelsey Mitchell, it's worth keeping Kelsey Mitchell, and why the fuck did we pay Kelsey Mitchell? Because she's going to walk for nothing, and rather than just coring and trading Kelsey Mitchell. Like, we're having this conversation then. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. The star that was out and is coming back is Caitlin Clark. And the style of play, the team very clearly wants to play the style of play that nearly got them to the finals last year. And it's obvious by how they're playing. It's obvious with their effort. They would rather be that underdog, gritty team. We're going to fight for wins, togetherness. We're going to fight for each other. And Kelsey, Aaliyah, you guys take us home. We're going to do everything for you guys. And the difference is that you can't have an underdog mentality. You can't have an underdog mentality when you got Caitlin Clark on your team because she's so good. Like, that whole shtick is gone. So yes, this is Kelsey Mitchell's team. And it's not a wrong thing. It's a choice. It's likely a choice made by Stephanie White, and whether she wants to admit it or not, like, based on her decisions, it is. And look, that's fine. That's fine. Like, if Denver decided in 2009 that they wanted to keep Allen Iverson, I said every time the Fever came back, this team was unbeatable. They lost. They were this close to losing to the last place Sun with her last year. They lost to the Valks twice after blowing double-digit leads with her last year. They lost to the Dream with her last year. They lost to the Liberty with her last year. They blew a double-digit lead against the Aces with her last year. That's a lot of games. Like, they were 8-5. Like, they were 3 games above 500 with her last year. I'm not saying they weren't better with her last year than without her, but like, it's not like they were a championship team with her last year.